Hey. So good morning. Athena is in Red River Gorge this morning. And so Eric and I are going to be facilitating the service this morning, along with some help from Brandy and Warren doing the readings. So I'll get started with the announcements. Thank you for joining us today on this Sunday. While we give about 5 more minutes for others to join, our usual announcements and logistical notes. Please make sure to mute your mic if you're not muted already. This meeting is being recorded, so if you have any questions about that, just let us know privately. A portion of this service, we're going to invite you to journal. So if you want to participate in journaling on paper, a lot of people seem to use meditation time, and that works too. But if you want to journal, now's a good time to grab a journal, a notebook, or a pen if you'd like to participate in that. If you're new here, a little refresher on Psanctuary. We are a 508c1a faith-based organization. We use psilocybin mushrooms to connect us to divinity. So if you, like many others throughout history, hold these mushrooms as a sacrament, please do consider being a member. It's a 5-step process to become a member. The last step being a discovery call with us where you can ask any questions you have about being a part of our community. Please do consider donating to Psanctuary. We would greatly appreciate it. All donations go towards operational expenses, which a big one right now includes helping us secure a property of our own so that we can have more opportunities for private and group sacrament services and subtle sacrament opportunities as well, which we're offering more of. And also just a place where we can gather together as a community and do all kinds of different projects and events together. We have a big vision here at Psanctuary, which includes a community built on sustainability through permaculture and more accessible and frequent opportunities for services with our sacrament for members. So if you want to donate, head over to psanctuary.org. We have a donation page. And if you have some in-kind donation ideas, just shoot us an email and we can explore that. If you're new here, these Sunday services are a place where we gather together as a small but growing quickly community. Although we don't partake in the sacrament during these services on Sundays, we find common ground together in our recognition that the mushroom has brought us here together today. So for more information on sacramental services, if you're a member, you can check out your member resources portal where we list any upcoming opportunities for sacrament services, or you can reach out to us via email to learn more about that. The service portion of our gathering today is about 30 minutes of silent participation on your part. As I mentioned, Athena is in Red River Gorge today, so Eric, myself, Brandy, and Warren will be facilitating the service today, and then Eric leading a 90-minute discussion following the 30-minute service. We have 2 readings every Sunday. One, we always read a chapter from the Tao Te Ching, which is our church's primary text. And then we have a rotating book, which currently we're reading from the Game of Life. We're on chapter 5. We'll also be reading a poem together, the Litany of Gratitude, which is read to acknowledge our oneness with all that is. So we're going to go ahead and begin the service today. Please get comfortable as you can. Thank you so much again for joining us. And we hope you do stay for discussion afterwards.
Thank you, Courtney. We're going to just quickly review our statement of faith. I don't have it memorized yet, so Courtney's pulling it up. This is my first time actually conducting the service portion. So anyway, I do want to welcome everyone and thank everybody for being here. To reiterate that this statement of faith does not exhaust the full extent of our faith and understanding of the sacrament of psilocybin mushrooms. We believe as a community that sacred mushrooms are a primary source for personal and divine revelation. We seek counsel from this mushroom to find direction and inspiration in our faith, and we believe that all individuals who seek tradition from divinity can do so themselves. All right, and with that, Courtney is going to lead us into short meditation, and then we'll get into our readings.
Please get comfortable as I adjust the screen.
But this is the first time Courtney's done the screen share too. So.
Our wonderful Athena does such a beautiful job every Sunday, and I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing. Okay. So please get comfortable and take a few deep breaths. Close your eyes. Just settle in to the space here. We're going to have about 5 minutes or so dedicated towards meditation. A few moments, then settle into your being and your body. You may need to move a little bit, do a little shake just to let out loose energy. Take a few deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. In this meditation today, I invite you to practice holding space for yourself. You may feel out an emotion, thought, or anything really that's coming up for you this morning. It's anything that's feeling alive, which you'd like more space to process. This can be something that's feeling simple and light, or something perhaps that's feeling more charged and heavy. Anything that feels right for you is welcome. Know that you can relax into this space, knowing that we're only going to be here for 5 minutes or so. Let's start by dropping into self, a place of calm, compassionate love and presence, just to the best of your ability right now. While sitting here, you may try to place one hand on your stomach and one hand on your heart, if that feels good for you. And continue breathing. As you breathe, feel your stomach rise, and then let go, allowing it to release in and out. Continue like that for about 5 breaths until you start feeling that you're arriving in a space of calm, loving compassion. Connecting to this space is what we call holding space for yourself. Maintaining that connection with self when it feels right. I invite you to welcome in any feeling, thoughts, stories that are coming up. Anything that you feel you to explore a little bit in the next few minutes and hold space for. It may be helpful to ask yourself some questions addressing any of these feelings or thoughts that are coming up. Questions could be something like, how are you feeling right now? Would you like to tell me what you are feeling? You can also try letting any of these feelings or thoughts, letting them know that you're here for them by saying something like, I'm here for you. I would love to hold space for you right now. I have space for you right now. You're safe to share here with me. Feel into this practice as you begin to hear from any of these parts of you that are sharing this morning. Just remember, this is a practice. Transitioning into a space of listening, and just holding space for these parts to the best of your ability right now. When you're ready, when it feels right for you, you may offer your gratitude for any part of you that shared this morning in this meditation and was willing to be a little bit vulnerable. Take a few deep breaths as you do this. And remember that if you feel like this is something that you'd like to continue exploring, this is a meditation that you can do any time of day. Take one more deep breath and begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Take your hands off your belly and heart if you would like, and begin to come back into this space. You may open your eyes when you're ready. Just take a couple of moments to come back into this space with our community here at Psanctuary before we move on into our service. Just notice how you're feeling in this moment after that meditation. Also remember that the discussion time after service is a great place to continue exploring anything that may have come up for you in the meditation. All right. So now I'm going to invite Brandy to read from our Game of Life book reading this morning. Hey, Brandy, you're muted.
How about now? Is that good?
Yep,
Awesome.
we hear you.
Okay. The law of karma and the law of forgiveness. Christianity is founded upon the law of forgiveness. Through forgiveness, we are redeemed from the curse of the karmic law. The Christ within each of us is our Redeemer and salvation from all inharmonious conditions. Knowledge of the law gives us power to rub out our mistakes. We cannot force the external to be what it is not. If we desire health, we must first be healthy in consciousness. If we desire friendship, we must first be friendly in consciousness. If we desire riches, we must first be rich in consciousness. Many people are ignorant of the fact that gifts and things are investments, and that hoarding and saving invariably lead to loss. If we ignore our intuition to spend or give, then we are likely to lose the same amount of money in an uninteresting or unhappy way. If we ignore our intuition to be with the one we truly love instead marry who we're supposed to, then we are likely to spend our lives lonely or miserable despite being partnered. Your supply is inexhaustible and unfailing when fully trusted, but faith or trust must precede the demonstration. According to your faith, be it unto you. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For faith holds the vision steady, and the adverse pictures are dissolved and dissipated. Christ taught us that there was a higher law than the law of karma. It was the law of grace or forgiveness. It is the law which frees us from the law of cause and effect, the law of consequence. We are told that on this plane we may reap where we have not sown. The gifts of God are simply poured out upon you. In this continued state of bliss awaits those who have overcome the world of thought and dwell in the world of faith in your imagination. The subconscious, being simply power without direction, carries out orders without questioning. Working under the direction of the superconscious, the God within you, all can be accomplished. We would no longer throw off this body in death. It would be transformed into the body electric sung by Walt Whitman.
Thank you, Brandy.
All right, so I will read with you the Litany of Gratitude. If you'd like to read the chorus along with me, we live in all things and all things live in us. You're welcome to do so and unmute your mic. This is a nice opportunity for us all to acknowledge the oneness and speak as one. We live by the sun, we feel by the moon, we move by the stars. We live in all things.
All
things live in us.
We eat from the earth, we drink from the rain, we breathe the air. We live in all things.
All things live in us.
We call to each other, we listen to each other. Our hearts deepen with love and compassion. We live in all things. All things
Live in us.
We depend on the trees and animals. We depend on the earth. Our minds open with wisdom and insight. We live in all things.
All things live in us.
We dedicate our practice to others. We include all forms of life. We celebrate the joy of living and dying. We live in all
Live
things.
in all things. All things live in us.
We are full of life. We are full of death. We are grateful for all beings and companions.
Thank you all. You can mute your mics now. Okay, Warren, when you're ready, I invite you to read the Tao Te Ching for us.
Okay, hello and good morning. Fine weapons of war augur evil. Even things seem to hate them. Therefore, a man of Tao does not set his heart upon them. In ordinary life, a gentleman regards the left side as the place of honor. In war, the right side is the place of honor. As weapons are instruments of evil, they are not properly a gentleman's instruments. Only on necessity will he resort to them, for peace and quiet are dearest to his heart. And to him, even a victory is no cause for rejoicing. To rejoice over a victory is to rejoice over the slaughter of men. Hence, a man who rejoices over the slaughter of men cannot expect to thrive in the world of men. On happy occasions, the left side is preferred. On sad occasions, the right side. In the army, the lieutenant commander stands on the left, while the commander-in-chief stands on the right. This means that war itself is treated on par with a funeral service. Because many people have been killed, it is only right that survivors should mourn for them. Hence, even a victory is a funeral.
Thank you, Warren.
All right, so we are going to take just, excuse me, about 5 minutes to reflect on the readings and use that as a basis for our conversation. Got a couple of prompts here, just to kind of take us back to what we just read. If you'd like to, take a moment and reflect on an aspect of yourself or a person in your life that awaits forgiveness. We must forgive again and again. If nothing presents itself to mind, return to something that you have already forgiven and yet forgive it again. Meditate on loving this person or this part of yourself. You can write this forgiveness and loving reflection down for greater effect. Second, with any time remaining, put yourself into a state of health-centered consciousness. See and feel yourself healthy in a balanced body, mind, and spirit. Meditate in this consciousness until the time is up. We'll give it 5 minutes and circle back for our reflection, our conversation.
Okay, everyone, that wraps up our 5 minutes of journaling time. So I'll just give you a few more moments to finish up whatever you may be writing down. So as we wrap up our service today, just a reminder from us, we've come together with intentions of service to the land and all of its inhabitants in our hearts to go forth into the world with the collective consciousness. We encourage everyone to stay for continued fellowship and conversation around our readings, meditation, and journaling today. And for those unable to stay, we're so grateful you could make it for the service. So thank you so much for being with us today. A couple announcements before we transition into discussion. We have a mindfulness meditation led by our member Katrine on Thursday at noon Eastern. If you're on our mailing list, you should get a reminder about this. And for members, you can head over to the member portal and you'll see it listed there. You can add it to your calendar, the Zoom meeting information. Also, we are planning to add a section onto our member portal where we list our members' local businesses and any holiday offerings that they might have, so that we can, as a community, if possible, prioritize shopping amongst our member community and helping out other people's businesses. So if you have a small business and you have some special offerings, please reach out to us and let us know if you'd like us to list you in our member directory, and we would love to do that. The more support for our community, the better. One last reminder, we have our second group retreat coming up in January 21st through 26th. We've decided to extend our retreat from 3 nights as we did in October to 5 nights, so that can allow us to have one more opportunity with the sacrament. So we're really grateful we're able to do that. If you would like more information, head over to your member portal, or you can reach out to us via email and we can tell you more about that. So without further ado, passing it on to Eric for discussion, and I'm going to stop the recording.